the connection cut out. Every time the stream's going well and I get into a deep conversation, it does this. So I've continued on another one, but I've actually realised it's positive either way, because if it cuts out, I just keep making lots of live streams until we reach I try and get to the 1 hour or 2 hour mark. So at least the live stream I've done is about 20 so minutes. So if you haven't seen that, you can check it out. I went into detail on how to complete tasks whilst you're experiencing anxiety, or whether you are or not, and how to be more disciplined. I gave some really good examples there, and I'll continue. So yeah, I wanted to continue on the daily discipline, because that's what people really need. A lot of people really like my routine. This is what I practice daily, and this is what I do with my clients. And I had this realization, I think this was about in 2017, when I was going through my mental health breakdown in hospital. I realized that a lot of the times people look to the future to achieve things, which is fine, but you can only do one day at a time. So we can't really get out of this, and that's a good thing in many ways. So although it's okay to set goals in the future, and I do that, and it does sometimes give you hope and excitement, we can never get to the future, because it's always now in that sense. So practicing daily discipline, well, on so many levels it's good. Number one, you get the most out of life anyway. And number two, you're consistently programming your mind to not waste time and get things done daily. So if someone wanted to lose weight in the next 2 months, the best way to start that would be today, and would be to do it one day at a time. And if they did it daily and they didn't miss a day, then in 30 days time or 60 days time, they would have lost a significant amount of weight, because of the consistency, obviously. And your whole attitude around life becomes better, because if we're never facing our fears today, then you're wasting your life. You're putting the fears off, and you're not completing tasks and getting it done and getting the most out of your life and enjoying your life more. So that's something that I would like to explain is important, because the natural human mindset is always in the future, or worrying about the past, and nothing gets done. And people tend to say, well, I'm going to lose weight, but not now. I'm going to start that diet, not now. Or I'm going to start a business, but not now. Or, I'm going to start being more social, or make friends, or go to events, or travel, but not now. Not now comes in, and that's the fear and the anxiety to keep you safe. So it keeps you safe for today, but it gives you depression for tomorrow. So discipline is getting control and going the direction that is uncomfortable, and breaking out of your comfort zone and saying, no, let's start today. Let's just get it done. Let's face the fear of uncertainty and not try to be perfect, because none of us are perfect, but it's a perfect time to start. So that's another example of the right mindset and the right approach. Of course, if you want to make progress and you want to build more discipline. But as I said, it's not black and white. Again, a lot of people watch videos online, or they might hear something I say, and then they believe that discipline, if you're going running or getting up early, or in your business or diet, that the whole experience is painful and unpleasant and miserable. And that's not the truth. It's not always like that. For sometimes it is like that, but that's not the full account of. And you've only got, if I asked you, how was your whole life? Your whole life hasn't been miserable every single day of every hour. You may say most of it, but there's times where it's been joyous and peaceful. Some people go their lives brilliant. So the same in discipline, it's a human experience. So it's not believing every thought that comes in your head, or the idea that you have, which is not accurate. So it's like, if I say, if someone doesn't do running and they see me running or someone else running and sweating, it's very easy for them to believe that, every second of every minute of the run is horrible, it's monotonous, it's miserable, and it's not. It's not like that. I mean, it can be like that at times, but it's not always like that. So discipline is not going to be permanently suffering. It's not going to be a permanent thing where you're not enjoying it. There's going to be times where you love it, where it's one of the most peaceful experiences that you can have. It's certainly been the case for me. Once you get into that flow and you're not thinking no more, it can be more peaceful than when you're not doing anything and you're just going through life. That can be even more painful. So there's pros and cons, like everything in life, and you have to accept that if you want to participate in being more disciplined, getting more done, and living a more disciplined life, also known as living a positive life or being successful, achieving your goals, being a better person, sharing more, all those things are accomplished and achieved through the simple daily task and practicalities of life. And when I think about it, you know, people are doing it anyway, but it's you know it's is it positive, is it negative? Because people are doing habits every day, but if those habits are not working for you, making you miserable, and then you want to start to change them, and that's another explanation of discipline. For every negative habit you've got, you could exchange that for a positive one. So just an example, I guess, is, I don't know, drugs, alcohol, or eating too much junk food, or those habits could be replaced with positive habits. So let's say a lot of people do it instead of drinking alcohol. I know it's not easy, by the way, but people have done it. You can. You can replace alcohol for running, or people that instead of eating 100% junk food every day, you could start to exchange that for eating healthy food. And that's, true for everyone. We've all got addictions in different areas. We can replace them and change them through daily discipline. But it does take time, and you have to be patient, and you have to put a lot of effort in, but it's worth it if you value it, right? It's worth it. People that value the results and making the progress in their life. And even today, I'm practicing discipline now. I don't feel like speaking today, and it's not pleasant, and I'm not particularly enjoying it. But that's besides the point. I want to help more people do my job, complete the task that I set out today. One of the tasks, which was to do some live streaming and teach and help as many people as I can. So I practice in it now. But if I said, well, I'm not going to do it because I don't feel like it, then it doesn't get done. There are other days where I do feel like it and I do enjoy it. But like I said, it's not always like that. It's not always going to be like that in any area. Even in the best relationships, you're not always going to feel like being around people, even people that you love. It's not because you don't love them, it's because you don't always feel like it. And sometimes we don't feel like being with ourselves. But you still got to continue practicing living and socializing. Obviously, there's times where we need a break. That's healthy as well. Same to you. Happy Thursday to you. Never looked at it like that. I like that. That's good. Happy Thursday. So it is the practice, and it will make sense later on. It will make sense. It will come through experience, because naturally people's minds are going to say, well, how long is this going to take? Why am I doing this? What am I going to get out of it? And I've explained it. You're going to become a better person. You're going to be more disciplined. You're going to have more life skills. You're going to achieve more. You can give more as well to others. You'll have more gratitude, and things that I haven't explained, more things will come to you. Your own perspective will change, because everybody is going to share their perspective on what discipline has done for them. But we all have an agreement. We all understand that it's a very respected thing throughout our human civilization, or human beings. Some people might be envious of others that are disciplined, and they will be. That's human nature. But deep down, people will respect it, because everybody knows how hard it is and what it takes in any area of your life, from the smallest thing to the biggest thing. I like to give the example of public speaking, which is one of the number one human fears. I've done hundreds of public talks. I know what that takes because I've done it. Some of you may have. I hope that you have, or I can get you to do it. My clients have done it. It takes a lot of discipline when you're frightened to go out and to face the fears of embarrassment of people, and to speak. But once you do it regularly, you can absolutely love it and enjoy it. I really enjoy it. But you can also do it when you don't enjoy it. So I like to stress the positive element of doing things when you enjoy it and when you don't. And I'll explain why, a bit more background. Because I learnt this the hard way in my life. When I used to do things that were difficult, when I enjoyed them, it was difficult, but I enjoyed it. But there came a time where I was depressed, I was going through struggles, or I didn't want to do certain things anymore at that time. So I put them off. But I didn't realize there were consequences for doing that. It affected every area of my life, and it taught me to only do things when I felt like it. So I had to unlearn that behavior. And I started to see other people that didn't have that perspective that I had. And I thought, oh, that's how they've made more progress than me. And then they explained it. And I had to change a lot of those perspectives that a lot of society teaches, which are, I don't, you could argue they're wrong, but they're a bit misleading, and they fall short in certain areas. So the actual value of being able to get things done when you don't feel good is really, really valuable, and all of you can experience that for yourself. Hopefully, even starting from today. And I found the same with running and talking. There are times with speaking, for all people, me included, clients, where you get tired. Like I'm tired now, and you want to stop talking. But if you give up talking, every time you get tired or uncomfortable, then you're going to teach yourself to not be confident socially and to give up. Same with running. So you learn to hang in there a few more minutes. If you're doing a live stream or a public talk, and you work through that discomfort, and it might be there the whole time, it might come and go. But the main premise of the principle is to get the job done, to complete it, and you'll get stronger over time, and you'll get better and better at handling discomfort. Now, getting in a sauna, I talked about this a few weeks ago, I learned this, it's so challenging. Oh my goodness, people don't realize until you do it. Going into a sauna that's 90 to 100 degrees, the first minute can be hard, but generally, if you've done it a few times, the first couple of minutes is pretty bearable for most people. 5 minutes is, you're like, oh, this ain't that bad. I could do this. But once it gets to 6-7 minutes, then it's hell. Unless you're really used to it. But most people will not be to begin with, right? I wasn't. And then when it gets up to about 7-8 minutes, if you think about staying in for 30 minutes, you feel like you're going to go insane. You naturally want to get out of the sauna. Most people will quit, they will break. I broke most of the time as well. I completed 30 minutes twice. A guy at the gym inspired me, he did it. But the strength that took, the suffering, the discomfort, you're hating every minute of it at that point. Maybe hate is a strong word, but you're not enjoying it. You can't breathe. You're stressed, you can't stop thinking, your mind won't stop. A second feels like a minute feels like an hour, because you're in that discipline of discomfort and pain and mental and emotional stress, and it doesn't feel good. You do not feel good. You can't speak. If there's someone else in the sauna and they are the same, you're under so much stress, your mood's disturbed. You're not in a good mood. You're suffering, you're doing that, your facial expressions are screwing up, your mind is saying, I want to get out of here, you're trying to stop thinking, and it feels like you're being tortured. That's exactly how I felt, how you feel, right? That's this full explanation. But if you can tolerate that, you get better the more you practice it. So a sauna is a great experience to really, within reasons, obviously. I'm not encouraging people to ruin their health, because maybe it's not healthy to stay in there more than 20 minutes, 30 minutes, but I'm just giving an example of discipline, of what it's like when you want to give up, and how a happy mood doesn't work. Because a lot of people today are obsessed with happiness, which I understand, but happiness doesn't work in every situation. Sometimes it's not the right approach, it's more discipline, which is not saying that you should be outrightly miserable and unhappy. No, we're not saying that. But we're saying the truth is, the reality is, you're not going to feel happy when you are under extreme amounts of stress and fatigue. So happiness is not going to rescue you. Mental toughness and discipline and strength will, which you build up through daily discipline. Hello to you as well. So today we're talking about how to build daily discipline. I've given a lot of different examples, some extreme examples to stress the point, some simple examples like getting out of bed earlier, taking a cold shower, going for a run when you don't feel like it, going to work when you don't feel like it, speaking, trying to be more friendly, more positive when you don't feel social, doing a public talk, and many other things. There's no like limits. Eating a healthy diet when you don't feel like it. Do you know? We know it. I'll ask all of you how difficult it is when you're starving, when you're hungry, not to order from Uber, or when you're walking past McDonald's or KFC, or to eat junk food. How difficult it is to not eat the junk food and go and eat some healthy food, to cook some fish, salmon and veg, or fruit, or rice, or lean chicken, or vegetarian, or to eat a banana fruit. How difficult is that? Very, very difficult. You're welcome. I appreciate it. I'm glad that the channel has helped you. You're so welcome. That's discipline, giving thanks. So that's really difficult. But again, if you want to get results, if you want to eat healthier, if you want to get better at all the things we're talking about, then that's what you would practice. Now, of course, we all fail. I fail. You're not going to get it right every day. That's fine. The discipline is not to give up. No one is going to get it right every single time, especially when they're starting out. So there's going to be days where you're going to fail. Everybody fails in life. Everybody fails at discipline. But those that succeed turn those failures into motivation and get it right the next time. Or you might be disciplined for 30 days in a row. You eat healthy every single day. That's amazing. But on the 31st day, you slip up and you eat unhealthy. Or you may go gym every week for several times a week for 6 months or a year. Great, it's amazing. But then the second year, you get sloppy again and you don't go gym for a month and work out. Maybe you don't go gym, maybe you drink alcohol, you fall back into your habits. But then if you don't give up, you get back on it. And that's important. And I don't know anybody in life who lived an undisciplined life and they just clicked their fingers and all of a sudden they became disciplined and they never ever failed again. That's not true. It's not been true for me. It's an ongoing process of failing, succeeding, being disciplined. Now, of course, you can get a lot of consistency. So that takes a lot of pressure off, and that will encourage you to keep going, keep growing, and getting as much consistency as you possibly can. So another thing that I like to do and to help clients, and I do for myself that works, is you can use a discipline to get more discipline at the next thing. Let me explain that. So I like to use running because I like running anyway. I can build up a lot of discipline from running, and the strength that I get from that, I can apply that to my diet or to getting up early, because getting up early used to be something that I would always fail at. I didn't like getting up early, wasn't an early person. In the last couple of years, I get up early most days now. I've trained myself, I built the habit, but it took me time. I had to go and do a lot of boxing again. I had to also learn and mentoring. I wanted to help my clients more, get them better results of discipline. So I initially failed at getting up early, succeeded at going to the gym very well, and then eventually was able to transfer the discipline that I built up from going to the gym, because I go gym at all different times, even in the night or the late evening, and then apply it. So if you're disciplined in one area, usually if you really want to, you can apply that in other areas and then get discipline there as well. I call it transferable skills. Those of you that do watch the streams later on, I really do appreciate. I see that you leave comments, and I'm thankful that you're thankful that my work's helping you and the stream's helping you. So yeah, you got to be patient with this stuff, and that takes discipline as well. But you do get a lot of joy out of it. I don't want to leave that out. You do get a hell of a lot of joy. It might sound contradictory, but you do get a lot of joy because I said before, you get a lot of relief when the suffering ends. Your mind's in more of a your mind, I would say, is in a very humble place, and it does humble people, and that's good every single day. So it's a daily practice again. So try to look at things as daily, not as yearly or monthly, because that can really mess me up with my clients. But you can obviously say, I want to accomplish something by next year. That's fine. There's nothing wrong at all with doing that. You can do that. I mean, I've got a 1 year mentorship program, and I've worked with 3 clients on that. I'm working with 2 now, and they've got so much results. They upgraded to another year with me. So it is a year goal. They invest in 1 year with me and make a commitment that if they commit to 1 year, it's going to change their life. But we have to break it down. Obviously, I can only do 1 day at a time. So can they. So can we all. So you can set long-term goals in the future. That can be really good. By all means, I do it for my clients. I believe in goal setting, but you only can do 1 day at a time. So it's good to set the long-term goal, but to have a daily routine that you get in the habit of doing daily that allows you to get the tasks done that get you closer towards your long-term goal, and at the same time enable you to appreciate your life daily. Because again, nothing is certain in life. We know that from life, the people that we've had in our life that are not here anymore, and we see it. So it's also trying to build a better relationship with that. It's not easy. It's not easy for me either, because we've all got fears of uncertainty, but you will get better with that from practicing daily discipline. It just seems to encompass every single area in life. Another nice thing as well, I always forget to mention, you do become a better person. I know that can sound vague, but you're a better example to others. You can give more. It's not like people don't need to know about you. They don't need to know that you're doing all this discipline stuff, unless they're your friend or you're in a community. That's a beautiful thing. But someone that's never met you, you can give more. You can give more because you're giving more to your disciplines, and you're developing as a person. You really can, and that should be a big motivation for a lot of people. And it was my main motivation in 2017 to start this journey, which was to help other people. And it's always sounds difficult to explain that on a live stream, but I hope all of you will get it. I'm sure you will through your own experiences. But by all means, you can also, you gotta have a healthy level of selfishness. Everyone has. So you gotta work at improving yourself and appreciate that. But it's also good to not have an unhealthy amount of selfishness and want to share more with people, because once you achieve everything or you improve your life, well, what else is there to do? It's nice to share it. It's nice to help others. It's nice to give back, and you don't have to be a teacher to do that. And just giving back time, encouragement, attitude, the basic things, kindness, people seeing your example. There's so many people online that have helped me. They don't even know it. I've never met them before. I would like to thank them. I'm not always able to do that. I might write on their videos, but they've helped me because they've lived discipline. They've lived discipline in their life, and it has inspired me. It has helped me when I'm struggling, or to figure something out that I didn't know, or to learn something. So you can help one another by being more disciplined on a day-to-day basis. And in terms of time, I know a lot of you will be asking me, well, how much discipline do I need to practice daily? Well, that depends. That really does depend. But I would say really it's a daily thing. But yeah, you could, for my clients, if sometimes they need to, I can for my client Phil to be specific, we come up with a sort of window of 2 to 3 hours, or 4 hours. In that time, he'd get his gym done, diet, business tasks, relationships, and then the rest of the time spent however he wanted to spend it. So you can have a time frame. You can say, I'm going to work out for an hour and a half a day. I'm going to spend 2 hours on my business, or 6 hours. There's nothing wrong with that. You can be flexible, but you don't have to be obsessed with it. There's no set time, but it is a daily thing. I would say for me personally, it feels like from when I wake up to when I go to sleep, the whole day is discipline. That doesn't mean I don't sleep or watch some stuff on YouTube or eat or relax, of course, but most of it is the mindset is discipline. But again, you gotta make it work for you, because we've all obviously got different lives and different tasks that we do, but the principle is the same for everybody in what we're talking about today, and that's building daily discipline, learning to not just go by feelings, thoughts and emotions, because that won't work in the long run. Are there any questions that any of you want to ask me now that I'm more than happy to answer? I'm just going to take see, you can have little breaks. I'm going to take a 30-second break to get my breath. And this is another good thing that you can do as well. At any time in a conversation or when you're running, you can slow down and get a breath. That's actually good discipline anyway, to relax, and then you can continue and pick it up. So you learn these skills. I'm learning new skills every day that I didn't know, and that's another great thing about this. You learn, you value learning new skills and tools and life skills that can benefit you and everyone in all different areas of life. And in regards to thinking too much, that is something that you start to realize really affects all of us. So when you get into the flow of discipline, it is nice. It will happen to all of you. It happens to me. You will get into spaces where you're not thinking so much because you're present. And when you're present doing something, it's a great feeling. Time doesn't really exist. Time flies. And your experience is a much better one than when you're just constantly thinking, and we all do that, and I do that. But you will improve on less ruminating, less obsessive overthinking, more living in the moment, more being here, more present, not so much in the future, not so much in the past, not so much worrying and catastrophizing. So yeah, it is breaking a lot of mental and emotional barriers to get to places of more peace. So believe it or not, I've said it before, most people think that if they do things that are difficult, they won't experience peace. Not true. You can experience peace at the start. It's not always going to happen, but you can. I've done it. I have it daily. In the middle or throughout. And I find especially when you're done, just for the mere fact of the relief that it's over. It's finished. Finally, that public talk's done. I can relax now. Finally, I've got out of bed, took a shower, I've left the house. Finally, the run is over. I was struggling, or the workout's over. When you get to the end, it's a lovely, lovely feeling of gratitude and relief and calmness. And then you can take it upon yourself to continue on what you want to do after that. I'm a big believer in working hard and resting good. I'm a big believer in doing challenging things, but also having common sense to know when it's time to have a break and not to overdoing it, because overdoing it can be a very bad thing. Underdoing it can be bad. So it's getting that balance, and again, that is something that you will come to learn and get better at as you practice doing these things daily, whatever they are. I'd love to know what are your daily tasks that you need to complete? What are the things you're doing now? What are the things that you're not doing, that you're putting off, that you would like to do? It would be interesting to know what those things are. So yeah, we're training the brain more, training the brain to get stronger. And science is proving that you can actually change the brain, make it stronger through putting it through difficult things that are challenging, and it gets accustomed over time, it gets stronger, just like a muscle does. And it makes sense when you learn more about the human body and the human mind, and you learn about yourself. You're in the body, you've got a mind and a body, and I'm still learning a lot as well. I know that all of you are doing it anyway. I just thought I'd speak on it. I find it very helpful to listen to other people that have built up good discipline and get inspired by them, or you can connect with them, so you know that you're not on your own. And you might see areas and think, oh, not in a judgmental way. Oh, they're better, they're stronger than me in that area. I can get better. Or oh, I'm stronger than them in that area. Maybe I could encourage them more. You can connect more. That's important, having people to connect with, especially when you're trying to achieve goals and live a better life. Really important to have community, which we've got here. You've also got the meetup events that I do in London in person. And obviously, if you would at some point would like to do one-on-one mentorship with me, where I'd mentor you, give you the help and support, I do that online, and I also do that in person, depending on the client and what format would be better. Some people do better with me online because they're abroad and they prefer that way. That works for me. Some clients do a lot better and prefer to work with me in person, sit down over coffee, and then I can mentor them. We can discuss things, work on things. I can give them homework. They go and complete it. Then when we meet the next session, I can look at it and I can hold them accountable and see if they're completing their task in their life. Oh, that's good. The internet isn't cutting out. Hopefully, it won't cut out. You never know when it's going to cut out. So I try and get the best information out as quick and effective as I can. It's pretty amazing what the human body can do if you train it and really, really work at it over time. How you can go from physically not being able to do things to actually being able to do them really well. And I find that anyone can do that. Even people that think I can't do that, I don't believe it. I've been that person and done it. You can do it. You can. Others are doing it. No one's better than anyone. If someone else has done it, then you can do it. And age doesn't come into it, because a lot of people think, well, I'm too old. That's not true, because we've got so many people today that are older. Just an example again, and they're fitter than young people, or they've accomplished more discipline. And for young people that think they can't do it, they can. If you really want to do it, you can. It's good to. Well pleased to see you, Owen. Um, I miss our mentoring sessions. I really enjoy them. I really enjoy them. I hope you're doing better, mate. Uh, sure, man. I'd love to do a Zoom with you, man. That would be a blessing. That would make my day. Just send me an email and we can schedule it. I'm very flexible at the moment. So let me know. I could even do it this week probably. Just send me an email today, Owen, and I'll get back to you. So yeah, people can do it. Anyone can do it at any age. You're welcome, man. Look forward to it. Can't wait. So I just want to stress that again, right? And it needs to be repeated. I know it don't make sense, because I'm saying to people, you know, the discipline in essence, or the discipline that I teach and practice, you're not going to feel good when you approach it, and it's not you're not going based on feelings. Now, of course, some days you're going to wake up, you're going to feel really good. You're just going to feel good about life. You're going to be happy. You're not going to have anxiety, and you're going to feel good about going to the gym. That's a blessing. Go to the gym. That is the discipline. But you can't rely on that, because you're not going to feel like that every day. And what happens to a lot of people is, I've seen this with clients, and I've seen this with myself, and I've seen it with people. They go through a stage which is great, where they are feeling very good and their attitude's good, which is great. And they're doing mentorship with me, or they're doing it with someone else, or on their own. And they're doing really well, which is great. They're going gym consistently, brilliant, and they're enjoying it, and they're grateful, and they're getting great results. And everyone around them is going, you're doing amazing. But at some point, something happens in their life, or something upsets them, or a challenge comes in, or they just change. Then obviously we're human. They start to they feel depressed, or they don't feel as good, and then they say, what's going on? Oh no, I'm not feeling good anymore. Oh, I can't go to the gym now until I feel good. And then they quit, or they stop. Now what they don't realize is, what they're teaching their brain and they're teaching themselves is that they can only do things in life when they feel good. Very, very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. But again, it's not judging, because I did that. We all do that. We learn that until we have to learn new skills. Because again, if you only go to the gym when you feel good, you're not going to be consistent, and you're not going to learn. You're not going to learn the most important lesson, which we're all trying to get better in life, me included, as a teacher and as a student, to be able to tolerate anxiety, fear, not always feeling great. And that's not good in the long run. Where someone who can go consistently to the gym, whether they're happy, whether they're down or not feeling great. And it's also a lot of it is gratitude, identity. Yeah, it's okay to make mistakes, be happy for who you are. Yeah, because we all make mistakes in life. None of us walk the earth without not making mistakes. Obviously, we try and learn from them and not make them again. So yeah, like I said, maybe I'll get some t-shirts soon and print this. Someone's going to copyright me, but there you go. They're welcome to it. Discipline's not based on emotions and feelings. Discipline is a vow. It's a commitment that you make. Like I said earlier on, I didn't feel like doing this talk. I didn't feel like doing it. I'm human. I've got emotions, I've got feelings, I've got thoughts, I've got stresses and challenges, but I did it anyway. Because that's my daily discipline. I want to help more people. I need to run a business. I've got to get it done. And if anything, to show all of you, to set a positive example if I can, and to make you feel better about the fact that you might not feel like it today or for the next 30 days, but do it anyway. The value is not in feeling good or not feeling good. The value is in getting it done and being consistent. And you're going to see what's going to happen in the long run. You're going to appreciate it. So we're not saying make yourself miserable in order to prove that you're disciplined. No, that's not correct. And we're not saying that a person shouldn't go to the gym if they're happy. I'm not saying that for sure. It's great to be happy, and if we could be happy, if I can make us happy, I'll do it for life. Obviously, you can't do that. But it's really stressing having the tools to move forward and get things done, whether you feel happy or not. Everyone does this until they stop doing it, and I did it when I was younger, and even in my adult life, I would see people that were successful, that were disciplined, especially people that have run marathons. I always had and I still got a healthy obsession with that. I love it. I get excited if I meet someone and they say they've run a marathon. It's like I just can't believe it. I just think they're brilliant. So, and other things as well, like, seeing Bruce Lee and just people of all walks of life, right? And irrespective of them, it doesn't matter that they're famous or not. But I would think, wow, how did they do that? Wow, they don't feel scared. They don't feel like they want to give up. They don't feel how I would feel. They must be different. They must got some sort of confidence where they don't feel pain, or they don't feel like they're going to give up. And that's how they achieved that amazing result or task, running a marathon, or speaking in front of thousands of people on stage, or overcoming a life-threatening disease, or you know going through poverty and becoming financially free. Whatever the case may be, I just would believe that. Of course, that's not true. They felt all the things that we all feel. They felt scared. They felt like giving up. They at times they did, but they didn't give up in the long run, and they persevered. And it didn't happen in one night. It happened over time. They built a tolerance, and eventually they got there. But it wasn't easy for them, but they did it. So that's when I started to realize, oh, I need to not judge myself anymore when I don't feel good, or if I feel like I'm insecure or I can't complete something. I need to stop doing that, because that's not the truth in this area. I need to keep going. That's the most important thing, and not see it as a quick fix, but just trust the process and see what happens. So often when we see people online, we think they're better than us. I can't do it. And that makes you not do it. If only you knew they're not better than you. Yeah, right now they're more disciplined than you. But that doesn't mean they're better than you. We're all human. We're all human beings. And we've all got different skills. But you can get to that stage in your life, but not comparing yourself to them, but understanding that they're the same as you. They're human. It would be like saying, sorry to be a little bit crude, but that person's successful on TV. They don't go to the toilet. They don't fart or burp. They don't get angry. They don't get moody. It's ridiculous. They do. Same as you do. Same as we all do. Or they don't ever question whether they're good enough. Yes, they do. The same as we all do. But the difference is that they've achieved something because they kept going and persevering. And even when you run a marathon, and even when you get disciplined, you don't stop being human. So people might watch my videos online. I hope they don't, but I'm sure they definitely will. They'll look at me online and say, well, Jonathan he doesn't get any anxiety around people because he's overcome social anxiety, and he teaches and he speaks well and he's confident. But that's not true. I'm a lot more confident than I used to be. And yes, I've overcome social anxiety, but I still get anxiety around people because I'm a human being. I've got feelings. My mood can be different from day to day. But the difference is I don't quit, and I've got further than where I was before. So it's understanding that we don't stop being human. And just because you see Tyson Fury or Anthony Joshua or Usyk or Mayweather or Terence Crawford, you see them get in the ring and you think these guys are warriors, which they are. They don't experience fear. They don't get nervous when they get in the ring. No, you're wrong. They do experience fear. They do get scared, and they do doubt themselves, and they do get tired, and they do question whether they're good enough, but they don't give up. And that's why they're able to achieve what they've done. All the fighters that I've named and many more, Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, Alexander Usyk, and so many others, they're examples. I know they do because of the experience I've got in life and knowing what I know. But some people may not know that, and that can hold them back. So that's important that I share this, because when I was younger growing up, I could have achieved more if I knew what I knew now, but I didn't know these things, and it worked against me because I thought anyone that was successful was different to me, was better than me. They didn't get anxiety, they didn't doubt, they didn't, they're almost Superman or Superwoman, and they weren't. They're human just like me. Or if someone had a lot of money, that meant that they didn't struggle in life. It's not true, they do. Because I've made money in life and you still struggle. And I've worked with people that have had millions. I've worked with people that have millionaires, and they struggle. Otherwise, they wouldn't be coming to me for mentorship. They struggle in all. They can struggle in all areas of life. Some areas they don't. So you have to understand these things, because if you don't, then you might not be motivated to achieve your goals, which you can, and I want you to. Like, where is it? It was the other week. I didn't know how I was going to feel, and I ran for 2 hours. I think it was about 2 hours and 5 minutes, something around that. And I couldn't believe how much I enjoyed it, and I didn't struggle that much. And I was surprised because I thought, well, usually I did. And the next week, I thought, I want to do that again. It's going to be, hopefully it'll be the same. It may not be, and maybe I'm going to try and run 3 hours, but I really struggled. I really struggled, and I didn't do the 2 hours. So I stopped at an hour and a half. So it's not always the same. So just because someone does something that's difficult and it's easier for them, it's not going to, it doesn't mean it's going to be like that all the time, which is why, again, I know I sound like a broken record. There you go. Daily discipline. Same with the dieting. You'll go online and you'll see someone, let's get Ryan's question here, get some questions going. That's what I'm facing right now. I'm currently working on a project for a client, and lately I've been lacking discipline. The anxiety and doubt keeps creeping in. Ryan says, you're so right, it's okay to have these feelings, but it's important to push through. These live chats have been so helpful. I'm so glad. And you're right, Ryan. That's what we've all got to do. My clients, I encourage them, and all of us, we've got to push through. And I like the way you said that. You said it perfectly well for all of you. Read Ryan's comment. It's okay to have these feelings, because we all have these feelings. I have these feelings right now. Now they've gone, they're in and out when I'm doing this live stream. It's okay to have these, we're human beings, but we must push through these feelings if we want to accomplish our task, our goals, and live a better life, if anything. Good to see you, population. I think that's something that really excites me for all of you, or people. I want to help more people, is that people can do it. Even the people that think that they can't do it, they don't believe it, and they generally don't think they can do it. They can do it. And those of you that are doing it, and you know you can do it and you believe it, encourage others if you can, within respectable reason. If people want encouragement and you can do that, encourage them. Encouragement goes a long way. I asked one of my clients, James, if he didn't mind. He said he'd absolutely happy to. In our session last week in London, when we were sitting having coffee in a coffee shop in a Regent's Park, and I said, James, do you mind telling me, because I've been working with him now for about a year, what is it that is most helpful about my mentorship? Because I don't always know, because everyone's different and I might be wrong. And of course, I didn't know everything. And he said, one of the most biggest things I get out of the mentorship from you is the encouragement that you give me. Simple encouragement. And I said, that's interesting. I said, well, you could get that from your friends for free. You're doing my paper. And he said, yeah, but not in the way that you do it, though, because you've got experience and and you make me feel I'm on the same level as you. I'm no different. And that was great. And he's right, because people have changed my life by giving me encouragement from a good place. So everyone can do that for one another. I think we all do, me included. People need to be reminded every single day that everybody feels what they feel, but not everybody responds in the same way. People can learn to do that. Let me explain. And I've learnt this through teaching, my own life, and I've also learnt this from the therapy that I've been getting, CBT therapy. We can't, we cannot control to a large degree the thoughts that come in our head, even the thoughts that we don't like. We can't control that. We can't control, for a lot of the times, feelings that we feel. If you go for a breakup with someone that you love, can you control your feelings after? You can't. You can't control feeling pain, feeling sadness, feeling sorrow, feeling grief. We're human. You can't control that to a large degree. But what you can control is how you respond to your feelings and your thoughts. That's discipline. You can control that. That is behavioral therapy. That is taking action exposure therapy, which is a brilliant thing. That's how people can make changes. The same way that you cannot control criticism online. I can't control that. No one can. If someone criticizes me or you, we can't. But I can control my response to that. If someone criticizes me online, I can control and say I'm going to ignore it. I'm not going to respond to them. If they're hateful towards me, I'm not going to be hateful towards them. I'm just going to ignore it and focus on what I enjoy in my life. Or I can actually block them from the channel, report it. I can choose how I respond. That's where a lot of the freedom and the discipline lies, is choosing how you respond to your emotions. And back to what Ryan was saying, and we were saying, Ryan, about it's okay to feel these feelings, but you've got to learn to push through them in responding to them in the correct manner. Now, again, the noise outside, I don't like it. It stresses me out. Obviously, it's not their fault. They got to do their job. The world's got to continue. But it's loud. It's triggering. It affects the how I feel doing the streams. So I can't stop that noise going on, but I can control how I respond. So I've chosen to respond by calling it out. And I don't want to be angry. I'm not going to open my window and start shouting at them. I feel like doing that. That wouldn't be right if I did that. Right? That just wouldn't be a nice thing to do. But I feel like doing that, but I'm not going to do that. This is what I do with my clients. I'm going to talk about it with all of you, make some fun, laugh at myself. I'm going to calm down, and if it happens again, I have to accept it. I'm going to continue speaking. That's an example again of the behavioral therapy of the discipline. So I can't have control over the noise. I can't control that. It triggers me and it bothers me and it brings up frustration and some anger and stress, but I can control how I respond to it. How are we doing for time, right? So 50 minutes, I did 20 minutes on the other live stream. That's 74 minutes. I want to go a bit longer. I said I wanted to do 2 hours today worth of streaming, at least an hour and a half. So 50, 74, 5, maybe another 15 more minutes, or at least when this battery runs out, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna get a short break, get some water. I do ideally. I haven't. Again, I'm going to work on. I do ideally want to try and do a live stream in the evening. I don't always get to make time, but there's times I can. So, if any of you are interested, you might want to look out for the evening live streams. Usually get more people on, but I really do enjoy the morning ones. So yeah, it never ends. It's like that video game that you can't clock. You can always keep improving, and with the discipline, for as obviously long as hopefully we get a long life, you can keep improving, and also once you get there, the challenge is to maintain the discipline that you built. That's a really challenging thing to do. It's challenging for me, for all of us. If you lose a lot of weight and get in shape, that takes a lot of discipline. But it's even harder to keep the weight off, or if you beat your addiction to porn, which is great, it's challenging to maintain that and not to relapse and go into it. Or if you give up alcohol for 6 months or a year, that's great, but it's challenging to maintain it and not go back to it. And that's why we got to do this. Why it's daily. Everything is practicing daily. Same with business and live streaming. I built up a lot of consistency, but it's not easy to maintain it. It's very, very tempting to put it off for me. It's a daily challenge for me, because I can sometimes say, well, I don't need to do the live stream because I've done hundreds of them online. I've put a lot of information out to help people. That's not the right attitude. If you want to keep going and helping more people and enjoying it, which I do, even though it's challenging, which it's supposed to be, then you've got to continue to do it. Otherwise, you regress, you stop growing. By the way, whilst we're here, true story, growing up, I didn't enjoy drinking water, right? Obviously, when it's summer and you're playing out with your friends and you were hot, I would love water, but generally it was always fizzy drinks for me. And I've still got an addiction to fizzy drinks and sugar. Yes, I do. To answer your question, you're new to the channel. So anyway, I saw a friend growing up, and I used to think, he's amazing. How does he drink water? He doesn't drink alcohol. He didn't drink fizzy drinks. He was fit, healthy, and I thought, I can't do that. Where years later, I decided to challenge that, and now I've been drinking water for a long time. I do break it now and then, but I'm consistent. So it's a daily challenge for me to drink water. I find it very easy to drink water if I've gone for a run and I'm really thirsty. That's easy, but it's really difficult now when I'm not thirsty, because it makes me go toilet a lot. But for the mere fact of, it's good for your health to hydrate. So I'm doing it now. I don't feel like drinking this now. I don't want to drink it, but I'm disciplining myself to do it. So little things make a difference, I've said before, people often undervalue little things. So they think, drinking water, that's not really a big deal. That's not making millions of pounds. Oh, that's not being famous. Oh, that's not having big muscles. Or that's not getting me approval and acceptance from people. Well, I disagree. For me personally, fame is a load of rubbish anyway. Making loads of money for the sake of making a lot of money, everyone's entitled to it. Going to make you miserable. It's not going to make you happy, and all those chasing validation, misery in the end. But appreciating the small things will give you a great attitude, which money can't buy. Not that there's anything wrong with making money, but again, you can take it to the extreme where it can become negative. And that's where discipline comes in, and gratitude. So appreciating and saying, wow, I'm drinking water every day. Happy to have water. Not everyone's got water. It's healthy, and it's not an easy challenge if you're someone like me that was addicted to fizzy drinks, and found drinking water to be very boring and bland. But again, we're not going by feelings and emotions. We're going by what is the correct thing to do, long term, daily discipline. So that's why we're drinking water. Yeah, I'd the same, Ryan. Be easy on yourself. I'd the same. I had a Diet Coke yesterday, so again, be forgiving, but just get that consistency, work at it. You can do it. I've done it. Just focus daily, one day at a time. And that'll be a great tip for anyone who wants to give up fizzy drinks. Don't try and give up fizzy drinks forever. You won't do it. Focus on just trying to go one day without it. Go one day without drinking fizzy drinks and replace it with water, or you can have a coffee as well and a tea, and then you've done great. If you can do one day of discipline, then you can do 100 days. You can do 150. You see, again, take the pressure off, be realistic, and we take one day at a time. There isn't a particular secret, but if there was a secret that I could give you from what I've done, I've built up a lot of discipline in many areas, especially in the last 2 years, by only saying I've only got to do this for today. If I say to myself, if I say now, I can't drink fizzy drinks ever, I can't eat KFC tomorrow, I'm going to do it. I probably will do it. It puts too much pressure and stress, and it just puts you in that negative mindset, and then you get angry, frustrated, trapped, and then you do it, you break it. I don't know if I can do it tomorrow. I'll focus on today. Today I'm going to aim not to drink fizzy drinks, not to eat KFC. Just saying KFC makes me want to eat it. Let's take one day at a time. Let's see what we can do, and then we'll build from there. Good mindset. It's worked for me. Now that might not work for everyone, but that's worked for me, and it's worked for quite a lot of people. Give it a shot. If it doesn't work, scrap it. Find what does work. Right, things we don't believe it. I couldn't do cold showers. My client Phil does them regularly. He told me about the Iceman, Wim Hof. Many people do it. Amazing. Again, I was always applaud. Growing up, I hated cold, freezing water, right? I'm used to taking showers in warm water and baths. So I just said I can't do it. About a year ago, I think it was, year and a half, I thought, let me just try it. Let me try this cold shower thing. I tried it for about 5 seconds and screamed, can't do this. Quit. I said, I didn't have the discipline. I quit. I didn't believe it. I quit. I said, I can't do that. Months later, I didn't really think about it. There was no pressure because I don't have to do it, right? It's not one of my major things, but still, right? I thought there's a lot of people doing this really well, my client being one. Let me try it again. Try it again, same again. I don't like this, forget this. Then one day, I think I was at the gym. I think it was when I come out the hot sauna. There's a public showers where you can shower. There was a cold one. I got underneath it and I thought, it feels different today. Wow, what happened? Something in me said, I enjoyed that. That was difficult. I want to keep doing this. So I failed many times, and you will fail many times, but don't give up. Now I do them every morning. This morning, I couldn't believe how long I could stay in the cold shower and be calm, freezing on both sides. Over my head, I turn around. I've built up by changing that relationship, but by not saying that I have to do it, but just trying. So a lot of the things you're going to try, you're going to fail at to begin with. You might fail again and again and again. At some point, you're going to get it right. So drinking water was the same. The cold showers was the same. The eating healthy was the same. The running, the live stream was the same. Didn't feel like it, didn't believe it. A lot of this is about breaking beliefs through the process of taking action. So yeah, you'd be surprised, man. So today, if you're checking on your belief system, if I asked some of you and said, um, what is it, something that you'd like to do but you don't believe you can do it? Some of you might say, Well, I don't believe that I can ever get married and get a relationship, okay? I don't believe I can become financially free. I don't believe I can ever beat my addiction to alcohol or drugs or pornography or eating bad food. I don't believe I can speak on camera. I don't believe that I can get over social anxiety. Whatever you don't believe, I don't believe I can do cold showers, or I don't believe I can ever get up early or fix my sleeping pattern. I don't believe I can ever overcome my struggles in life. Now, what I can say to that is if you just work at making small progress daily, getting maybe some mentorship to help you, maybe you got to read a couple of books to encourage you, listen to some live streams, take a program with me or someone that you want to work with, you start to make some progress, small bits, and in the next 90 days, you might say, I believe I can do it. I believe I can get a relationship. I believe I can lose weight. Why? Because you've made progress. And when you make progress, you start to change your belief system about what you believe you can and can't achieve. I remember I never ate fish. I didn't like fish. I'd eat tuna, but I didn't think I'd like salmon. I just thought this not like it's healthy. Obviously, I wish I could eat it. I'm not going to like the taste of it. And one day I just thought, let me just give it a shot. I bought it, I cooked it, and I thought this looks disgusting. I'm not going to enjoy it. And I bit into it, and I couldn't believe that I enjoyed it. And I couldn't believe that I could enjoy veg. These are things that I just couldn't eat growing up. I just thought they're going to be horrible. I can't eat that crap. That was my attitude. It wasn't a great attitude. Now I don't have that attitude. Now I love it. I eat it often, as you see when I post up the pictures to inspire people and to give them, some inspiration. And I like I just appreciate taking the picture, putting it on Instagram. So it takes time usually to overcome those doubts, those limiting beliefs, and then to change them and get the result that you would like to get in your life, or make the progress that you'd love to make that you don't believe you can make. I think that's the challenge that challenges all of us, me included. We see someone that's overcome a big struggle in their life, whatever area it is, doesn't matter. And then we see the end result. We see them when they're accomplished or happy or sharing their story on a podcast show. And we compare our life where we're struggling, and then we say, I don't believe it's possible for me. It's too difficult. I've tried, it hasn't worked, or it's taken too long. But we don't listen to the explanation of what they said, that it was the same for them. It didn't happen overnight. It didn't come easy. It didn't come without struggle. It didn't come without a lot of pain, a lot of sadness, all those things. Is human experience. But they persevered, and they did give up at times. We all give up at times, but they didn't give up forever, and that's how they got there. And they also had help and support, which we all need. So it's good to understand that, and I think sometimes that needs to be understood on a day-to-day basis. Some people might get it, but a lot of people are going to shift in and out of the perspective of going, okay, I accept that. But then when the next day comes, it's difficult. Oh no, I'm never going to get there. It's taking too long, or it's different for other people. They don't understand what I'm going through. But everybody feels like that. Everybody feels like other people don't understand what they're going through, and it's difficult, or their challenge is different, or their thoughts are different, or their feelings are different. But when you get down to it, it's not different. We're all human. Again, we all have had the same feelings. The challenges might be different, but the principle is the same. So don't give up. Get the help and support you need. Persevere. I have many bad days, many good days. This has been difficult today, but I'm proud of myself for sticking in. It's just been emotionally difficult. The live stream the other day was very easy. I think I done it on Friday. It's different today. I told you it doesn't always go that way, and I'm quite tired from the days before and the challenges that I've been going through running a business and life. But I'm here doing it, and I've gone further than I thought I could today. I've done 17 minutes today. It's been very, very uncomfortable for me emotionally, mentally, and 20 minutes earlier on, that's 90 minutes. My goal was at least 90 minutes, hopefully 2 hours. That would be an extra 30 minutes, even if I can do that later on. All right, Timmy, keep moving forward, get the help and support you need. Absolutely, good to see you, Timmy. How you getting on? Right, got enough water now, that was good. So, just to go over a few affirmations. Discipline is not based on emotions and thoughts. Discipline is not based on how you feel. Discipline is a vow that you make, is a commitment. You do it anyway. So it's the same with the healthy eating. Don't get me wrong. At times, I really love eating healthy. I really appreciate cooking, and I feel always grateful, and I like the accomplishment, and it tastes great. But there are days where I don't enjoy it, where eating healthy can be bland, and I don't always feel like cooking, washing up, cooking. I cannot enjoy it. And there's days where I think I don't want to cook. I don't feel like it. I don't want to eat this healthy food today. I'm kind of bored of it. I want to go and get McDonald's. I want to eat KFC. I want to get takeaways. I want to get hamburgers and eat all that stuff, which is fine now and then, but not all the time for me. So I get those days. Today's going to be one of them. But discipline's not going by what you feel, but it's going by what you've vowed to do and to achieve and completing the task. I'm learning also, guys, as well, because I clearly don't know everything, and there's people that are a lot stronger than I am, and they're a lot more disciplined than me. So I'm learning from them. I want to improve myself so I can help more people and challenge myself. I'm also on my own journey, as all of you are. So I listen to them and think, right, they're stronger than me. I'm weaker in this area. What can I take from them today? And appreciate. I'm happy, always over the moon for people that are good people that have accomplished great discipline, and learn from them. Learn bits. I learn bits from David Goggins. I learn bits from everybody. Anyone online. Some people that I don't even know them. I hear their story and think, oh, they're so strong. What can I take from that? What lessons are they sharing with people that I can apply in my life? So for those teachers out there, you're never too good that you can't learn from someone. I learn from my clients. As I said, no one's better than anyone. Certainly from my point of view. I'd love to get some questions, and the battery's going to run out probably about 5 or 10 minutes. Any of you got any thoughts you want to share, or what you've learned today, or what you're learning, what you're doing, or things that you've learned from others? Let me know in the box. I really do want to do like a record-breaking live stream, but the battery doesn't really last longer than about 2 hours on this phone. So I'm trying to figure a way out of the only alternative I think is on my laptop. If I put the charger in, then I can do as long as I want, but the quality might not be as good. I might have to do that because I do want to challenge myself. I think the longest live stream I've done in the past was maybe over 3 hours. So I'd like to do that as like a marathon challenge, because it does get challenging, believe it or not, guys. I don't know if you've tried it, especially coming from an introverted background, which I am, and being quite a shy person over the years and having to break out of that. It takes a lot out of me doing these live streams, especially on days where I'm tired and also stressed, and also dealing with all the emotions that we all deal with. I say that to my clients that run businesses, and they also do live streams. It's, you know, it's harder than people think. You know, it's yeah. There's days where it's easy, where you're you know, where you're more relaxed, but it's when you're doing a lot of other things as well. It's not easy coming on it and speaking for this long. It gets harder. It's like running a marathon. You start running out of breath. Sometimes you I never usually run out of things to say, but it gets tiring saying the things that I want to say that are important